Yes, everybody, and welcome back to TarHeelIllustrated.com for another edition of the Daily Drop. I'm Jacob Turner. You guys know who he is our very own publisher, Andrew Jones. And AJ, we're here to talk a little Duke. I'm looking forward to this drop we're going to do because it's kind of going to be, you've covered a lot of games in Cameron. You've covered a lot of Carolina Duke games. And I want to take this drop as an opportunity to talk to you and ask you some of your favorite moments and most memorable moments from some previous games in Cameron Indoor Stadium. But before we dive into that, if you guys watch our drops, you know we did a Cormac Ryan drop earlier this week, and we mentioned towards the end of that one that we're doing an awesome little thing right now where we're looking for 50 signups on TarHeelIllustrated.com. 50 signups, $8.33 a month, links in the description below. And if we hit that 50 mark, we're going to give away some free subscriptions that whoever gets them can gift to someone else. So I know, AJ, it's going really well right now. I know in the beginning we had mentioned giving 2 away. Are you rethinking that? Can you maybe give away a couple more for us, AJ?
Well, it started out as 1, and then we talked ourselves into 2 during the drop. And we're pretty optimistic that we're going to hit that 50 mark. And if we do that, let's give away 4. But we got to hit 50. We got to hit 50 so we can give away 4.
Okay. I like that. 4. I like that.
We got to hit 50. We got to hit 50.
No, that's the key. If we don't hit 50, none of this happens. We need 50 signups in order to do that. And we'll give away some subscriptions that they can then give to somebody else.
It's a 1-year subscription for just $8.33 a month. So if you're someone who only checks us out on YouTube, you're missing a ton.
So much.
Because we only do so much here. It's a small part of what we do. You got to go over to the site. You got to go on the board. You have access to a ton of inside information. 90% of the inside information that we have, it goes on the boards or in premium content. That's where a lot of the real juicy stuff is. Mm-hmm. Some things we talk about here, but we can only do so much here. So you could be an expert. Recruiting. David Sisk is on top of basketball recruiting like there's no tomorrow, man. We have a larger team focused on football recruiting now than we ever have in the past. And that season's about to heat up. So if football recruiting is one of your things, you got to be on our site, man. And plus, I think one of the best things is that we have a great community.
Yep.
The thread for the game Tuesday night, I was rolling through that, man. That's outstanding.
Yeah, it's great.
We don't comment that much on the thread because it's so good. Mm-hmm. We let our community handle that, and it's so good that I enjoy checking it out. I go back after games and look at it. I'm like, man, there's a lot of smart people on here.
Yeah, man, it's really awesome.
Funny ones.
Yeah, it's a good.
Every once in a while, there's a squabble, but the squabble could be kind of fun too, from my perspective.
It's expected, man. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just people have different opinions, and again, you can have whatever opinion you want towards Carolina football, basketball recruiting. If you remember it at TarHeelIllustrated.com. So get signed up, guys. Links in the description below. $8.33 a month. When we hit that 50 mark, we're going to be giving away 4 free subscriptions that you can gift to somebody else if you're one of those 50 that have signed up. So do that. Awesome time to do it. And even if you don't even, let's say you're not even big on going in fan message boards and all that stuff, even if you just want to support the website or support what we do on YouTube, support TarHeelIllustrated.com. $8.33 a month. Great way to do so. Think of it like buying me and AJ not even 2 cups of coffee, not a cup and a half of coffee in today's world every month. It's a great way to support and give back if you enjoy.
Large. So I can put off having one of these.
I'm telling you, man.
A cup of coffee and I have one of these right afterward, my chest is going to explode. And we don't want that to happen. That would be an ugly scene.
Exactly. So think about it like that too. If you're looking at it from a different perspective, a lot of the money we make, a big majority of it, besides paying some of our staff members, goes back into the website and everything we do. So the more money we get, the more we can do. And it's, we're running a business here. So, we need that kind of support from you guys in order to keep growing this thing. So $8.33 a month. Description, links below. Get signed up ASAP, and let's see if we can get to that 50 mark. We're already, I'll make it a good headway on that, but I want to see if we can hit that. I think it's a realistic thing we can do. All right, AJ, let's dive into it. Like I said,
you like how I always have one of these handy?
I want a sponsor. For 5 Hour Energy, man. I want it. I need it.
Where am I going there?
I don't know. I need it, man. Come on. I need you on a podcast wearing a 5 Hour Energy shirt, 5 Hour Energy polo with the logo right there, AJ. That's what I want. God, that'd be
my wife bugs me every once in a while by getting a tattoo. I think she has fun with it. I'll get a 5 Hour Energy tattoo up here, and I'll wear a sleeveless on the right side if they want to sponsor.
Yeah, man. If they throw us enough money, I'll get a 5 Hour Energy tattoo too as well, man.
Can you imagine how unbecoming I would look with any kind of tattoo, but a 5 Hour Energy one?
It'd be a tough look, AJ.
That's probably not good business. It's
Probably
like,
not, but I want
remember
that
the old
sponsorship.
Body by Budweiser poster? The guy's
Yeah.
pulled his shirt off. He's got a big old gut hanging out.
I want that 5 Hour Energy sponsor, man. I got to make some when the off season comes around. Maybe I'll reach out to him and see if take a punt and see if we can get a sponsorship over here.
Well, we've already
Anybody
given him free
deserves it.
advertising. We've already given him free advertising.
God, do we ever give him free advertising, man? I mean, come on. Maybe you could even get some free cases of it too. Save you some money on your monthly budget of 5 Hour Energies too. That'd be a nice perk for you as well, I'm sure. So
yeah,
see if we can get that. Everybody go tweet 5 Hour Energy, tag us in it and say this sponsored at Heel Illustrated. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a sponsorship over here from the awesome people at 5 Hour Energy. But AJ, I'm gonna let you do a lot of talking in this one because this is more of me asking you. You've covered. I've covered one Carolina Duke game in Cameron in my 5 years here at Tar Heel Illustrated. I've covered a lot more in the Smith Center. I have my second one coming up this weekend on Saturday evening as I'll be on the court for that one doing photos. But I want to ask you, I mean, as a guy who's covered, I don't know how many games, and feel free to tell me after I kick it to you, how many games you've covered, Carolina Duke games you've covered in Cameron Indoor. I'm sure it's a lot. What are some of your favorite moments or favorite memories that stand out from it? Because it's such a great rivalry. We could probably spend an hour on here talking about it, but we like to keep these a lot shorter. So any memories or favorite moments that stand out the most to you?
Well, I've covered every one of them in Cameron, all but one in Cameron, actually all but two in Cameron since 1997.
Wow. I don't even know if I knew that.
I think 99 I missed it. And then the COVID year, a couple of years ago when Duke had no fans.
Yeah, nobody in there.
The first one I ever did was Carolina was number 1 in the country and blew a 17-point lead in the second half and lost. That was the Wojo, Steve Wojciechowski, Mike Krzyzewski bear hug. That game. That was the Brendan Haywood missed free throws. Someone asked him after the game, "Those 2 biggest free throws you ever missed in your life?" And I thought, that's kind of a dumb question. Of course it is. And he says, "No, I missed 2 in an AAU game." It's like, man, okay. There's been so many that stands out because that was my first one, and it was an epic game. And you can actually see me on press row when you watch the old clips of that. And I looked a little bit younger. You know, the gray stuff wasn't there. Maybe a little tad more svelte.
That's a good word right there.
05, I think it was 05 it was 04. It was 04. Donald Trump and Melania were on the baseline, where if you're on press row on the left baseline. And what's interesting is 15 years later on the opposite baseline in the Zion Williamson blown up shoe game is Barack Obama. So you got those 2 guys that go to games there whenever Carolina's there and everything in between. So it's the people watching can be pretty neat when you go to those games.
Yeah.
I would say 06 when Tyler Hansbrough hit a couple threes there. And then after the game, outside the door that goes down the steps to the visiting locker room, he was doing an interview with Erin Andrews when she was at ESPN. And Tyler's a young guy. His eyes are popping out of his head. He's just being interviewed by Erin Andrews, and he's young Tyler. It was just kind of wild watching.
That's so Tyler Hansbrough. That's so Tyler.
That was also whoever thought, we were talking about bingo card this week because who woke up Tuesday morning with Jalen Washington and Armando Bacot combining for 4 made threes against Notre Dame. Who had that on their bingo card? Well, the day of senior night for J.J. Redick and Sheldon Williams, who had Quentin Thomas to Byron Sanders twice on the break for a dunk on their bingo card that day. I remember that. They had the Danny Green posterizing Greg Paulus. The John Henson legs spread out from like one side of Durham County to the other with the layup, and when Carolina had a huge opening in that 2012 game. Zion's shoe, obviously. There's been a lot of things in those games over there. I've always enjoyed the pregame when the players walk out, and I think my favorite sign a Duke fan ever had for a Carolina player in warmups was Sean May. And someone had a sign of it was themselves and their head superimposed on a sandwich, and it said, "Hey, Sean, don't eat me."
Oh, that's so Duke right there, isn't it? That's what makes the rivalry fun too. Is you see it's that from the fans too. Let me ask you this, because you're bringing up a lot of memories. I have one I wasn't there for it. I can't. Was it 07 or 08, the Ty Lawson game where he went off there and he hit the and one layup and he screamed at the camera? Were you there for that one? Do you remember?
That was I was there for that one. Did they have the little thing on the jersey?
Yes, they had the little navy slits.
So that was 7.
Okay.
That was 7. They wore
that one always stands out
7.
for me. I was a young kid at that point too. But that was
absolutely. JP Tokoto had a dunk in 15 that I think the rim's still shaking. And he took off. I mean, he took off from like Kerry and slammed that thing.
Maybe we'll see a Seth Trimble reenactment this, obviously brothers.
Maybe we will. Luke started as a sophomore in the game there because I think Isaiah Hicks couldn't play, and Luke played really well that game. That was his first career start, was in Cameron. So I guess that's kind of set him up for what we saw down the road. I could rack my brain and think of a bunch of other things. The fans are always fascinating when it's Carolina Duke. They're fascinating there all the time anyway. Actually, as a guy who covered, I don't know, 250 games or something like that there, it got old pretty fast because they're leaning all over you and they're sweaty and they're drunk. And, there's sweat and there's alcohol sweat.
It's different.
Alcohol sweat's on a different level. You got alcohol sweat mixed with body paint.
Yeah.
You could always tell a guy who's covered his first game there because he's got a white shirt on.
Yeah. He doesn't know, and he's like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, I never take drinks out to press row because the spit. I swear, when I was with the Star News, Buster Sports, and Fox Sports, I covered almost every Duke home game. I would say probably 80% of home games for all that time, and I would come home from covering a Duke game. I would always take a shower. Oh,
of course.
It was gross.
It
was fun. It was fun, but gross.
Yeah, you didn't have a choice.
No choice.
Do you have a loudest moment in there? Is there any game? You might not. You've covered a ton of games.
No,
there.
I think.
That sticks out?
Well, since we covered Carolina, I could try to think of the quietest moment.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. We'll reverse it like that
because it's always loud. But the quietest moment, wow.
It's a tough question.
Danny Green's dunk in transition over Greg Paulus.
That's my favorite memory from it. That's my favorite moment.
That was one of those moments where it got so quiet in there. I say so quiet, all things considered, where it was almost as if the crazies conceded. Mm-hmm. Okay. They're better than us this year.
Yeah, it's one of those moments.
Yeah.
Was it like that for K's last game at all? I assume that one had to get pretty
quiet. Well, yeah, I mean, I was going to separate that one because that was just a unique experience unto its own. But yeah, it got quiet. It was quiet, but it was more like an oh no. Mm-hmm. So oh no's not quiet. Oh no's a different kind of buzz, and you had a lot of oh no, I can't believe this is not fair. This is not supposed to happen, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was also different because they made the media sit up in that little media box up in the corner. We weren't courtside for that game because of COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, excuse me. So it sounded a little bit different being up instead of being on the floor where the sound is coming down on you. Then it was rising up and it's kind of had a different take to it. But that was definitely an, oh no, I can't believe it. Tears. This isn't fair. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. All that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But when Danny Green posterized Greg Paulus, the place fell pretty silent. No, literally, okay, well, they got us now.
Yeah. You can tell on TV. I've seen that clip so many times, and you can even tell watching it to this day on like a YouTube clip. You can hear it because there's a YouTube clip where there's no commentary of it, and they show different angles of the dunk, and you can tell it's just you can hear a pin drop in there. Which
it was pretty much. I know that term now. He's him, they're them. That was a they're them moment.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I remember that one from my childhood vividly. That was an awesome one to watch on TV in that situation. I know Carolina fans still love that one to this day. I'm trying to think, just from someone who's watched
Armando's dunk. Armando's dunk
Yeah.
Caleb with the tongue sticking out.
It's a great moment.
That was one of those moments where there's media reaction. There's not a lot of media reaction to stuff. And because you've sat on press row tons of times. We're pretty quiet up there. It's business.
Yeah. Everybody's kind of kind of locked.
The place might be going nuts and we kind of hear it, but we're just kind of in our little zone doing our stuff. That was one of those holy SHIQ kind of like, good God, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were on. I think also in that game, I think Leakey had a kick out. He had a 2-dribble kick out to Brady for a catch and shoot 3.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it was during that closing run. And that was one of those moments as well. But the Caleb feed to Armando for the dunk and then Caleb wagging the tongue, that was, I don't really know how quiet it was in the arena because I know that press row was doing a lot of holy SHI, you know what, holy FU, you know what, good Lord, holy crap, that kind of stuff, because that was a holy crap moment. So there haven't been a lot of holy crap moments for the media. And I could hear the media better up there because we were in sort of a confined area around each other. Typically, we're just on press row that goes straight across. Mm-hmm. So you can't hear someone 2 people away from you ever on press row. Like if you and I are sitting next to each other and Brett Friedlander's on the other side of you, he and I could never communicate to anything. It's too loud.
That's wild.
Up there, we were able to communicate a little bit more, which is why I heard so much media reaction to that play.
That's wild.
So that's the most media reaction to a play I've ever heard from the Carolina perspective.
Yeah, from a Carolina perspective, yeah. Last question. We could sit on here all day and talk about this. Most random celebrity you've seen at a Carolina Duke game. I know you just talked about Trump and Obama. That is kind of random when you think about it. Anybody? Is there any other ones that kind of pop out? You're who's that? How's that guy here?
We knew Obama was going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Trump was going to be there, and that was before he became hated by half the country. The whole country, I guess, liked him back then, except Rosie O'Donnell. I don't think she's ever liked him, but unbelievable.
Get on that rabbit hole.
I mean, honestly, I'd have to think hard because there've been so many. Okay, first game I ever covered, there was a show back in the 90s. Do you remember that guy Urkel?
Yeah.
What was that show called?
I think it was just called Urkel, wasn't it?
No, it was some other kind of show.
Was it something else? I know exactly what people will know what you're talking about, but yeah, I know exactly.
Was it Family Matters or something like that?
Let me look it up. I'll look it up while you're.
I have no. It was my first time there, my first time in the building, and that was the '97 game when Carolina blew the big.
Yeah, it was Family Matters. I cut you off. It was Family Matters. It was.
Okay, I didn't know. I probably remember the name of it because I've told this story before. Because I never really watched the show. I just know that he was a really nerdy dude, man.
And he was there.
He was there. He was sitting about 3 rows up behind like the PA guy. And this was a half hour before the game. And the entire student body was chanting, Urkel, Urkel, Urkel. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh my God, that's great.
And also Chris Duhon, and this is not Carolina stuff, but Chris Duhon's little brother used to get passed around.
Really?
He'd be laying down, passed around, and everyone would go, what would they say? Little Duhon, clap, 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 clap. That was always cool.
Did you say Cal Ripken? You're an Orioles fan.
Cal Ripken. His daughter went there. Cal Ripken, Peyton Manning. Yeah, Peyton Manning.
There's so many.
There's so many. Well, you know the guy from the Hangover movies.
Zach Galifianakis. That guy.
No. He went to State, or he was a State guy.
I know he's from North Carolina. So,
what's his name?
Bradley Cooper.
No, not them. The guy that they had the guy that was
you're talking about the Asian guy, right? Is that who you're talking about?
The Asian guy, yeah.
What's his name? He went to Duke.
He went to Carolina and then went to the master's in grad school at Duke. He's been in a bunch of those. And I remember walking behind him.
I might be butchering his last name, but
Ken Jong, yeah. Yep. He's like a total Dookie, though. He went to Carolina, but grad school Duke. He's a self-described.
He's hilarious, too.
He's an honorary Dookie. I remember walking behind him after a game. I don't know why he was around the arena so late because, I'm there for like 400 weeks.
Yeah, you were leaving at
after
3
a game. And this was the Luke May game. This was the Zion shoe game, I'm pretty sure. And Luke just dominated that game. And he was cursing up a storm about Luke May.
That's great, man. At 3
and he had a couple buddies with him. It's cold out, and he's just walking. He's cursing up a storm.
That's so good, man. That's a good one. I forgot about him. He's hilarious. He's had some funny moments. He's been on like game day when it's been there before and had some hilarious moments.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
He's good stuff, man.
I would have to rack my brain about. There's so many dignitaries, famous people, musicians. There's so many that go there.
I had to ask you. I put you on the spot.
But it's kind of hard to go past Trump and Obama.
Yeah, I was about to say
I mean, Trump, Obama, they're like Peyton Manning. I'm not an Orioles guy. You've got Cal Ripken, Eddie Murray.
I know you got that up there.
I mean, I've got a Cal Ripken bat right there, numbered bat.
Did you say anything to Cal Ripken? Did you go up to him at all?
No, but I did when I covered 17 Orioles games in 1997.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Uh-huh.
And I remember I used to stand right in media could stand in the batting cage. We were taking BP, which is just heaven.
Yeah,
and we go from the field to the dugout to the hallway takes you back to the clubhouse because the clubhouse is open to the media before games. I remember I was getting ready to go down the steps into the dugout, which is just seventh heaven to me. And Cal he's going out for BP and runs by and just kind of rubs arms. And that was one of those, I'm never going to wash this arm kind of moment. Yeah, and that's when I realized, and I've told you this before, that's when I realized I can't cover baseball.
Yeah.
Because I have to be a fan of a team, and the Orioles are my team. So I covered 17 games that year, and I realized I can't do it anymore because I want to cheer. I can't cover them if I'm cheering.
You don't want to lose that fandom either. That, you know what I mean?
And I didn't want to lose that fandom. I didn't want to lose that fandom. I'm diehard. And I'm chomping at the bit. We got opening day in a few weeks. I'm chomping at the bit. So I did have that. I interviewed BJ Surhoff, whose locker was right next to his in the clubhouse. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a huge baseball guy, but even I know who BJ Surhoff is. You know what I mean? So it's cool stuff, man. It's cool stuff. I had to ask you that at the end because I know I'm sure as soon as we hit stop record on here, you'll think of 15 other people that you've seen there. But I had to put you on the spot with that one real quick. Guys, let's do this, AJ. I want to hear from some people because I know there's got to be some people watching this that have been to a Carolina Duke game in Cameron or just been to a Carolina Duke game in general, probably multiple. Let us know if there's any random celebrities you've seen at games and your favorite moment, because you don't even have to have been in a Cameron.
Dirk Nowitzki 2 years ago.
Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki. Yep.
And also, I'm trying to think of the baseball player that was 2 years ago. I'll come up with it afterward. I may post it on the board in our thread.
I was going to say Nomar Garcia-Pera because I know he's married to Mia Hamm. I thought for some reason maybe he'd been there before. He may have. I've seen him at some Carolina games with me. Yeah, for some reason I feel like he was there. But he's not. Ago. Yeah, I mean, Nowitzki's obviously big time. Yeah, he's not. Hubert likes to remind us he played with Dirk. Yeah. I guess he did. Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah. He did, didn't he? That's a long time ago. Yeah, he must. Yeah, he probably. I'll put it in a thread. I'll try to rack my brain and I'll pop a name in there once in a while on the thread. I want to hear from you guys. Like I said, you don't even have to have been in a game in Carolina Duke game in Cameron to let us know your favorite memories too, or even like I said, maybe famous people you remember seeing on TV and be like, why is that guy there? That's random. I want to hear from you guys. And again, AJ, if you're signed up for a premium subscription, which you should be doing right now, so we can hit that 50 mark, you can get them involved in our premium message boards. And again, AJ will put a little thread over there for the daily drop, and we'll start a little discussion in there and see if we can get some other people's takes on it, because I'd be interested to hear. It's always fun to talk that when this game goes around, because everybody's got their favorite memory or favorite moment, and a lot of people will write stuff or talk about stuff that even we forgot about. Like, oh yeah, I forgot when that happened. That was really cool. So yeah. I want to hear from you guys. You can do it on Twitter as well. Reach out to us at Heel Illustrated, but get signed up. $8.33 a month. Let's hit that 50 mark, and so we can give away some subscriptions. That's the goal. We're well on our way, but we still got some work to do to get there. So let's see if we can hit that mark over the next couple of days. I think we can go ahead and head on out of here, AJ. We could spend another hour talking about this, but for the sake of time, I know you got stuff to do, and so do I. We'll go ahead and get on out of here. I've been Jacob Turner. He's been Andrew Jones. Another edition of the Daily Drop. If you're excited about the game this weekend, go ahead and hit that like button below. Make sure you share. Tell your friends about it. Subscribe as well. Hit the subscribe bell. If you watch our stuff and you're not subscribed, just hit the subscribe bell. It'll help support the channel. Hit the notification bell too. See y'all next time. Thanks.